Welcome to the Senior Rehab Podcast,
the podcast for rehab clinicians that want to better serve older adults.
And now, your host, Dustin Jones.
Shorts. Hello, friends. I hope this finds you doing very well. Today's Senior Rehab Short comes from Selena Horner, writing on photoinc.com. That's the website for Focus on Therapeutic Outcomes Incorporated. The title of this post is 5 Ways to be Memorable in Rehabilitation. Every single person who is receiving your services is doing so for a specific reason. Quite often, you aren't the reason. Wouldn't it be nice if you were the first choice because you have a reputation of creating memorable experiences? Being memorable requires planning and a constant mindset. Number 1, speak to your patient by name. As you introduce yourself, don't forget to ask how your patient would like to be addressed. From that moment forward, don't forget what your patient prefers. At this day and age, our electronic medical records are set up with the patient's legal name. Figure out a way to consistently refer to your patient with his or her preference. Number 2, prepare your patient for the unknown. Yes, you have enough experience to be able to foresee the future, somewhat. For your patient, this may be her very first experience with her problem. If you were in their shoes, what would be nice to know? For example, let me share after total knee arthroplasty. What are typical patient concerns? The pain medication? That clicky clunk sensation? Sleepless nights? Those frustratingly tight compression stockings? The pain? The stiffness? The incision? Fear? Their knee will just pop out of the incision. Before they even ask, educate your patients on these issues. It will be appreciated, and as what you tell them happens, you gain their trust. Number 3, pay attention to the little details. It isn't the big things that always create memories. New haircut, new shoes, not using the same assistive device, not limping, seeming more fatigued, seeming down, shoelaces untied, zippers unzipped, shirt tags showing, drippy noses, putting their shoes and socks on after you just had the patient remove them. Mention what you are noticing. Do something about whatever it is you are noticing whenever possible. Number 4, mints. Stop laughing. It doesn't have to be mints, but a candy bowl of sorts. Definitely, though, a consistent little treat. Apparently, to all my patients, I'm the only place that always has wintergreen mints in a cool candy bowl. The first thing pretty much every single patient does is snag a mint out of the bowl either before we begin or as soon as we are finished. I know it's memorable because it has been consistently mentioned over the years. Number 5, stay in touch or follow up. There is something magical when a patient receives a phone call from you, or email, or a card. You can hear the surprise in their voice when you give them a call wondering about how they are doing, or the results of their diagnostic tests, or what happened at their physician's appointment. Every year I mail a card and a lottery ticket to the previous patients who are veterans. Every year they come in, thank me, give me a hug, and we catch up with our lives. And the cards. A previous patient passed away. His daughter mailed me a card I sent him quite a few years prior with a lovely note stating that must have meant something to her dad because he never saved cards. My card was tucked away in his top dresser drawer. I'll admit, it brought tears to my eyes. I have so many special patients, and this gentleman was one of them. Number 6, praise their progress. Number 6 is a bonus for you. I had to add it because it is one thing I do that brings smiles and chuckles. It is an element of surprise. For every single patient who has a positively sloping line on their photo report, I go crazy with stickers. It cracks them up and delights them. It takes them back to their far earlier years. They leave smiling, not just because they're improving, but because they had a little bit of an unexpected surprise. Can you think of other ways to create memorable experiences? In the event you like to have reports you can plaster stickers on when patients improve, then you just might be interested in talking to Judy Holder about how photo can help. Thanks, Selena. Hit me. I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. The show notes and much more can be found at seniorrehabproject.com. I want to encourage you to go there so you can join me and many others in the movement that's changing the face of geriatric rehab. Just go to seniorrehabproject.com, click join, and you'll be able to get access to our private Facebook group, which can basically serve as your virtual mastermind group. You'll get a short and sweet monthly email from me with useful links for you and your patients. And lastly, you'll get 10% off your first purchase from the Senior Rehab store. So all of this can be found at seniorrehabproject.com. And until next time, my friends, do not forget to stay funky.